Okay.
So what did I do the last
Just
time?
hit mute. Just hit mute. And I think you turn your microphone off as well. Okay, good. But yeah, it was your sound. So you're muted and you're muted. You know what I'm saying? So you're muted, so we can't.
I'm here, folks.
Hello, everyone. I'm sorry for that technical issue. Is there a are you guys, Suzanne, is there an echo on your end? Are you good? I don't see that, but I think it's okay. All right.
How can we know?
Well, I'm thinking Suzanne's going to
She came off mute for a second. Text her.
Okay, so she's coming in a minute. I'm sure whoever comes in will
No
be.
echo.
I heard her talk for a second. No echo, she says. Okay, she's perfect. She's sexy. I thought I heard her.
Are we ready to get started?
I think so.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Maynard Jackson's Go Team meeting, where we will follow the agenda as it has been emailed to you and publicly noticed. I would like to remind everyone that this is a meeting of the Go Team. Only members of the team may participate in the discussion. Any members of the public present are here to quietly observe. For members of the Go Team, please identify yourself when you speak. I am pleased to call this meeting of the Maynard Jackson High School's Go Team to order at 5:33 p.m. Our first order of business is to call roll. Secretary will now call roll.
All right. Dr. Kimberly Latchman.
Present.
Kimberly Leaks. Okay. She is not present. And Stacy West Wooding. Not present. Claire Gordon.
Present.
Bryce Duncan.
Not present.
Not present. Emily Galloway. Present. Ines Humphrey.
Present.
Suzanne Mitchell is present. Virtually.
Yep, present. Thank you.
Nancy Lamb.
Present.
John McCall.
Present.
Anaya Avery Williams.
Present.
And Milo Tano.
Not present.
Thank you. And we have a quorum.
We have okay. There is a quorum present. Great. All right. Our first order of business is to approve the agenda. This was provided to you, and copies are available here. Are there any changes to the agenda? May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve.
A second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Okay. All right. The motion is approved. The motion carries. And now we will review and approve the meeting minutes from our last meeting. The minutes have been provided to you. Are there any corrections from last week's meeting or from last month's meeting? Okay. May I have a motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes?
I motion to approve last meeting's minutes.
A second? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? The motion carries. And our first action item is moving to the APS Human Resources update on the principal search. Do we have human resources
It
here?
appears they have not gotten on the call yet. They wanted to be at the front, and they're,
Yes.
so I'm not sure where they are. Have we gotten an email from them?
I did not receive an email from them earlier today. The last update I got that they would be here was yesterday. Was that yesterday? No, I'm sorry. On Monday was when.
So perhaps we will return if needed.
All right. So now we will move on to our discussion items on our agenda.
All right. So this evening we are tasked with continuing our strategic plan development process. The last time we were here, we were able to discuss the goals that we wanted to update based on our last strategic plan for the previous 5 years. Our timeline, of course, is a new timeline that is aligned with the district strategic plan, and our goal is set for 2030. So this is our current APS strategic plan from 2025 to 2030. Tonight, we will do some alignment of our old priorities or objectives to the new district focus areas, which you'll see bolded in both red and black. Our strength is our team, or responsibility is shared, or system is efficient and effective. And then on the other side, we're strengthening our instructional core. We're caring for every child. We are sparking student curiosity. So based on the goals that we came up with, which we'll review from our last meeting, we're now going to set some actual objectives and priorities that we're going to do and attempt to align those with what our 6 district focus areas are. And there is plenty of guidance and cheat codes that you guys will notice too today. So remember that our goal is to kind of think big for our school and what we want it to look like. We're always, I would say, the visionaries of our school community. So we're thinking long term, how we want things to look, how we want things to feel for our students. So in our last meeting, we reviewed our school's KPIs. Those were our key performance indicators, that sheet that we had that kind of measured us in different areas and showed where we were in comparison to our district. We also reviewed our mission and vision. We decided that we liked where our mission and vision statement were. And then we went over our 2030 goals based on the goals from our previous strategic plan. So we are going to now kind of just reiterate some things. So our mission and our vision stayed the same. And really just speaks to our IB learner traits, wanting our students to be global-minded citizens that not only were interested in the betterment of themselves, but the betterment of their community as well. Now, these were, I don't know why it's cut off at the bottom. Oh, it's not. I'm sorry. My apologies. It's me looking at this screen. So based on what our discussion was the last time, I did go ahead and reword the goals. Remember, this is not 100% set in stone. So let's kind of read through them, see if we like the wording. Sometimes when you write a goal, the wording can be a bit quirky, and I felt like the wording was a bit quirky in these. But one of the things we wanted to do from our previous strategic plan was to combine the first 2 goals, which spoke to student achievement on not only milestones, but on AP and IB courses as well. So I went ahead and combined those 2 to say by 2030, we would like to increase the percentage of students scoring proficient and above on the Georgia milestones and earning qualifying scores on the AP and IB exams by 20%. I'm using the 20% as a marker because the district has 20% as a marker, with the assumption that that will be a 5% increase per year until 2030. We wanted to maintain or keep a graduation goal, but we agreed to change it to 90% and above since we had hit that 90% mark. And then the third goal, we wanted something that was centered around student climate, and so with a focus on increasing overall average daily attendance rates for students. And the wording I believe we had the last time was reducing or discipline infractions from level 3 and 4. So the one way I thought we could track that was by looking at suspension rate. So I added reducing the suspension rate, and then I kept that 20% marker there. And just kind of put that through a focus on, we would do this through a focus on whole child interventions. And then the last goal spoke to ensuring that our enrollment in our signature programs were representative of our student population. But the discussion from us the last time was that we wanted to add something about our Atlanta College and Career Academy. So that goal just states that by 2030, we will increase the number of students enrolled in each accelerated and signature program of IB, AP, dual enrollment, and ACCA to equitably reflect students in all subgroups. I will try to get some feedback from our Go Team office to see if we need to put an actual number on what we're saying we want to increase that by, so that it is a bit more specific. Did anybody have any questions on the goals? These are kind of what we agreed on the last time, but I want to make sure that we are all good with how it turned out.
I have a question. When you were talking about level goal 3, talking about suspensions, you said level 3 and 4.
That was the terminology that was used the last time.
Okay.
Reducing level 3 and 4 infractions, which usually result in out of school suspension.
So these are the type level of infractions. So I'm going to assume this is going to be for aggression, fighting, kind of.
It can be. So if you look at the student handbook, every behavior has different levels. So a level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. Most behavior infractions, once they hit that level 3 or level 4, whether it be prohibited drugs or alcohol use, those are usually your items that, those are usually your levels, that get students out of school.
Okay, got it. So we're looking to increase our daily attendance by 20% and reduce the suspension rate specifically for level 3 and 4.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyone else?
I feel like this pretty well encapsulates.
Oh, I just wanted to point out that the goals are at the top of the sheet.
Yes.
Are we
Is there a
sure?
difference between in-school suspension and out-of-school suspension?
There is. So for in-school suspension, it does not impact our school climate data as much as our out-of-school suspension would, because out-of-school suspension not only impacts the behavior data, but it's also going to impact the attendance data since students are not here. Now, I don't know if we did something when we fixed the audio, but is Suzanne trying to say something?
I think she's typing.
Yeah.
Oh, let me see the chat. Her hand is up.
But I don't
Can
think
you
we
hear
can
me?
hear.
We should be able to hear on this.
Can you all hear me?
Well, let's see.
No?
I heard her at one point.
Heard her at 1.2.
Okay, you all
I
can
wonder if you didn't shut up your.
Let me see.
Suzanne, are you talking?
You can't hear me.
No, we
Okay.
cannot.
Okay, we can't hear you.
So let me try to fix that really quickly. I'm so sorry.
It's something with this.
It's probably the sound here.
Okay.
Don't turn on the sound there.
Okay.
Push the that.
Let me see if we can unmute her. No. I'm not sure. We might have to just do chat.
but I don't even
I
see.
feel like if we turn on the sound here on her computer, we'll be able to hear it.
I think it'll cause a loop though.
Oh.
No, I think when
We
you
could-
turned it down, that's what happened.
She wanted to know if we have a public comment on the agenda.
Yes, it's at the bottom.
Maybe on.
So that was what the loop was. Sorry.
Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes. I did something.
That's not going to work. I'll use the chat.
Okay.
What if you mute this one?
Hmm.
I said, what if we mute this one?
She did. So go for it.
Now try it.
Oh. Y'all do what you do.
Look at that.
Look at that
Can
technology.
we hear it now?
Can you hear me?
It still says also has to mute this one.
I can't.
I'm sorry, we'll just have to use the chat because we're not. I'm just not technologically advanced. I'm sorry. We're gonna have to have the tech people stay later.
I think you might have stopped sharing too.
Yeah, so you have to reshare. I didn't want to take the liberty of
That's
that.
okay.
I noted in the chat, Suzanne asked if we had a public comment on the agenda. We do.
And can everyone still hear? Online?
Dr. Lashman, can I ask while your caller's trying to figure this out, what's the percentage of valid breakdown that do get suspended?
That's it.
That's level 3.
Suzanne, we can hear you.
Oh, you can?
It is
Good job.
not that many. I don't want to misquote. So last
How
year,
many students
so this
are, like what percentage of kids right now are these level 3 and 4?
So this is the best way that I can explain it to you. The way that they calculate suspension rate is by the number of days. Last year, I think they take all the students and they average it out and they give you an average number of days suspended. Last year we were at less than 1%, 1 day. This year, I will admit that it has gone up just for some different things and situations that we've seen. But if you look at the data, I think the question you want to know is, it's a very small percentage of students compared to our student body. And you will see like it is the same repeated students. I'd like to say it's less than 10%, to be quite honest with you.
Does that also count as then absenteeism?
Mhm.
Okay, so when they're suspended, that also
Impacts attendance.
Yes.
Out of school suspension,
Out of
not
school,
in.
exactly. Out of school, so that is also.
Yes.
So that's kind of all almost.
Correct. That's kind of want to keep those
Right.
two together.
Yes.
Suzanne was saying something.
I just wanted to say that I think we should, with the suspension piece, be partnering it or be speaking to it in alignment with restorative justice, because generally it's 10% or less. As many years as I've been involved, it's been under 10%. So like you said, Dr. Latchman, it's kind of the same kids who in many cases are, we're having challenges with a small group. And I think measuring it kind of through the effectiveness of our restorative justice strategies, what we're doing, how we're using it, I think could tell a more compelling story versus just saying, we hit this number, we hit that number. or at least a story that gives more explanation about what's going on.
Yeah.
Even though, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not quite sure if we should add that in. But I think thinking about it through a lens of restorative justice signals to the broader community, and really even to the community at large, that the type of interventions that we're doing, even if we have to do an out of school suspension, it is through that lens, which I think sends a different message than just speaking about it in terms of in school suspensions at 3, 4. I want to put that caring culture piece in that goal somehow. Because I do think we do it uniquely, and we give kids lots of chances, and we work very hard, and we have this amazing team of counselors who are plugged in, and there's just a bigger story than the numbers. So I don't know if there's a way to add that, or if that would be inappropriate to add, but just something to think about.
I don't think inappropriate, but I think we do have the opportunity when we get to focus tonight on our objectives and priorities to really spell that out for that particular goal of what we want it to look like and sound like.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. All right, so that was just a review of what we decided on our, not decided, but discussed in our last meeting. So tonight's focus is really to identify what our strategic objectives are going to be over these next 5 years in an attempt to achieve the goals that we've set. And then after this process, we will come back together to approve our strategic plan and rank our strategic objectives for the FY27 season, because I believe at the next business meeting is when we'll also get a snapshot, if I'm not mistaken, of what our budget will look like. Because I think the next time we meet will be January. So we are going to do a process this evening called Stop and Continue, where we look at what our 2025 strategic plan was. I'm sorry that the copies are never as great as you want them to be, but there is a section that says school strategic priorities. That word priorities is now, it's kind of on like the right-hand side, the left-hand side, sorry. That word priorities is now going to be labeled objectives, but they're interchangeable words, but that's what they're calling it now. So we're going to kind of review those strategic priorities that we had the previous 5 years, and we're going to do a process called Stop and Continue, where we're identifying which priorities we might need to stop and which ones we may need to continue. After that, we're going to align our objectives to our district's new focus area. So I want everybody to look at the far left of the page. In the previous 5-year strategic plan, under the leadership it was at that time, those 4 buckets were the district's focus areas. Now with the district's new strategic plan, though, there are 6 key areas that we're going to attempt to align our objectives on tonight, okay? And then we'll review and discuss any additional objectives that we think of moving forward.
I'm so sorry to interrupt, but
That's okay.
you said the 4 buckets, those 4 buckets would be fostering academic excellence, building a culture of, those were the old 4 buckets.
Yes.
And now we have new 6.
Now we have new 6 buckets, which are on your blank worksheets. But try not to get confused. I know we gave you a lot of paper. We're going to work through kind of one by one. So first thing we're going to do is do our start-stop exercise. So this is just a copy of what you have printed. So let's do stop. So if we look at our previous school strategic priorities, we are going to discuss what current priorities or activities are not having the needed impact and should be stopped. So based on what's here in this column that says strategic priorities, are there any priorities or activities that no longer align with the mission and vision or goals that we've set? So our goals are kind of the same, but we've reworked and reworded some things a bit different, or focus areas. And then just some things to kind of guide us, just kind of think about what has been working, what has been completed or never started. And if our 2030 goals are bigger than what we have achieved so far, then what do we have to do differently in order to achieve such big goals? So I think at this time it would be appropriate just to kind of give everybody some time just to process and kind of think through and look through what the old strategic goals were. Strategic priorities, sorry.
So look at this priorities and not the school strategy just yet.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she's out there. But I'll go double check.
This is HR.
No, sorry.
I was wondering about, I don't know who that Chandra is. I was wondering if maybe that was. Or.
Okay. Was this good time? Does anybody need additional time? Kind of process. Okay. What are we thinking are our priorities that we may need to stop?
Well, in the first one, I see the word COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's still like
I've kind of felt the same, kind of outdated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or if it was something, maybe I'm sure we moved on to the thing that's impacting students more. So does anybody else have thoughts about that one?
All right, the same thought.
Yeah, same thought.
All right, any others? Any priorities that we feel like, even though they're there and they may be good, may not align with our current mission and vision?
I'm wondering, are we at the point of still building systems to support IB implementation? We kind of have a program that's fully functioning and running. I don't know if that part needs to be rewritten. wording to address kind of where we are now.
Oh,
That
so
makes
maintain.
we just started.
Yeah.
But our new goal is really to increase student performance and achievement in that area.
Right.
So that the goal needs to be rewritten to
Okay.
reflect that.
Okay. So I'm going to put a note by that, and then maybe we'll come back to kind of talk through, now that we are where we are with the program, what does that goal need to look like or sound like to get the results that we're trying to get over the next 5 years? Anything else that may not align current to what our mission and vision are currently? No, go ahead.
I'm not sure that it doesn't align. I'm just not sure where we would align it, because I don't think we've had a lot of discussion around staff and just making sure that their needs and the expectations, right, are kind of somewhere in there, because they're such an integral part of the success of the school. So I'm not sure that we remove it, but I do think we need to figure out where it aligns.
Are you talking about the create an educational and professional environment that will support recruiting
Yep.
retainers?
Yep.
So we might need to. That's the second to.
It's like second pink.
Yeah.
And then I think we had, I can't see the goals again, but hold on. I'm not sure we need to, I think to support IB implementation, the last one as well, is because though we are looking to grow IB, we also are looking to grow in other areas. We're trying to meet the children where they are and making sure they're aligning in the right places and spaces for them. So I don't know if that applies, because that is so specific to IB.
Which one was this?
The last one.
The last one.
I had thought something similar, but in my notes I had, to your point, to maybe add APE, ACCA, dual enrollment to support, to equitably reflect students in all subgroups.
Yes.
So not just IB.
Yes. So we would change that. So that's not relevant to me. That's too specific now. So that's all I had. Thanks.
I had also noted in the second point, maintain a robust offering of AP, IB, dual enrollment, fine and performing arts, and CTAE courses that is reflective of all subgroups of our school population. I don't know that fine and performing arts is I don't know that that's really, I love the arts, but I don't know that that's the same type of offering as, say, AP and IB. So I would think that we might want to consider removing the fine and performing arts and then also add ACCA in there.
So I think the reason why fine and performing arts and CTAE maybe there is because it offers an opportunity for students to complete a pathway, and that's one of our CCRPI components.
Okay.
So maybe it would be a case of leaving that but adding the ACCA,
Okay.
which is one of the goals. So
We have many pathways, don't we? Don't we have a lot more than just the fine performing arts? We've got graphic design and
So those are under the
all
CTAE umbrella. So
Got it.
anything engineering, graphic design, audio, video, business, entrepreneurship, those would be all under the CTAE bucket.
Okay.
And then your fine arts would be your dance, your visual
and that's still considered
pathway,
a pathway.
Mhm.
It's just not under the umbrella of the CTA.
as well as JROTC. Sorry about
Yeah,
that.
that's right.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are there a certain amount of objectives that we need to stay within, or they like?
Yes, it's going to tell us in the next upcoming slides, and it's just kind of 1 to 2. You'll see the format of the new strategic plan. It's a little bit different really this, but they do give us guidance.
The reason why I asked that is there a way to merge the second one with the last one? Or are they two completely different, I guess, we have.
So the maintaining and the building?
Yeah. Because I think they're speaking to the same thing. Offer lots of support or lots of, pathways for kids and maintain it. Yes.
Yeah.
So we're past the building, we've got them. So yeah, I think it seems like those could be combined.
Okay, so let's find a way to know that.
Which goal are we talking about right now?
The second goal and the very last goal.
Oh, the last middle system resources.
And I was also looking at that very last one, the build assistance and resources one. Is there, if we're including like ACCA in some of the prior goals also, developing or maintaining and developing more university college partnerships, does that also then include like business partnerships that we would have?
It does.
So adding something like that in there also. And do we have a relationship with like community colleges and things like that?
We do.
Just broadening that a little bit.
So the next thing would be aligning these to one of the new 6 buckets.
Well, the next thing is we have to do the continue, which I think we're kind of doing both things at the same time. The next one is current priorities and activities that this is a natural part of the process. You're gonna move ahead even though you don't need to. But kind of what's working well and should be maintained. And it kind of sounds like we have some things that we feel like are good, but may need to be reworked. Like continue to do it, but let's spell it out in a different way. Am I misunderstanding? I just want to make sure.
I think that's right. I think putting it through the lens of the district's new 6 priorities. Yes, I agree. I think we may need to rework a few to just make sure we're touching all buckets.
Okay, yes. I don't think the 2 people that have joined are from Human Resources, Ms. Galloway. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, okay, double checking, yeah. Yeah, it's not.
Okay, so this is where we're now aligning the objectives to the district new focus areas. So remember the word objectives now replaces the word priorities. So we already had school strategic priorities. The word priorities is now an objective. And you have a document that's similar to what you see on the screen. So you have the 6 areas of focus from the district. And now we're going to continue to do the kind of look at where our current objectives align with these 6 buckets. They did give us a little cheat sheet at the bottom where they shared that anything that was under the fostering academic excellence, which was that first brownish looking box, is now probably going to align to where it says we are strengthening our instructional core or we are sparking student curiosity. Anything that was under building a culture of student support is now probably going to align to we're caring for every child, and then equipping and empowering leaders and staff is likely to align to our strength is our team, and also creating a school system of support is likely to align to our responsibility shared or our school is efficient and effective. So this is our little cheat sheet, if you will, of how we can move forward. So the goal is to have 1 to 2 objectives in every focus area. we're going to use the APS 2025 to 2030 strategic plan, and I can go back to slide 7, just for some ideas if we feel like we need some ideas to identify any new objectives that we may come up with tonight. And the focus is getting back to the basics, and they've labeled our focus areas and labeled where we should make sure that we have something in the red. I know your thing is not color coded, I'm sorry. All right, so we're going to take our current objectives and we're going to place them where we feel like they now fall on our new district focus areas, which are these 6 areas. So even though they provided us with this cheat sheet down here at the bottom, you may feel like there is something that may not, that they said was for instructional core that may fit somewhere else. So Ms. Galloway, maybe about 5 minutes to do this part would be good, you're thinking?
Or maybe we could call out as we go.
Sure, and then someone could maybe just record.
Yeah. I don't mind recording. I can do that.
I can call out.
Okay, which one would you like to place under?
Oh, I was just suggesting, like, all right, where are we at with, we are strengthening our instructional core.
Okay.
So I do have a question. So one of the things that we just proposed is combining something that was in the fostering academic excellence for all with something that was in creating a system of support. So it just depends on how we decide to reword it. And I think it could actually fall for the instructional core piece and the sparking student curiosity piece. And also the, but that could be an unpopular opinion.
Instructional core piece and which one?
Sparking student curiosity.
Yeah.
But if we combine those two, is there another area that somebody feels like that could fall under?
So is this a part where we would, when we started, we were talking about our goals of increasing scores? You know, is this part of where we would say we're going to increase, the scores by 20%? Is that a part of that as well? Or because I think, we are strengthening our instructional core. We've got these where we're going to build and maintain robust offerings. But are we aligning that with any sort of outcomes?
So those are the objectives. So they're renaming these objectives. So they were like the priorities.
Right.
And now we're kind of renaming them objectives. Am I right about that?
Yes, you're right. And what the priorities
I guess
were.
no, I'm thinking like the goals here at the top. Like, are these goals, these objectives, we're going to use these objectives to accomplish these goals.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, I got it.
The objectives, priorities are kind of where we think our thinking and our energy and our action should be in order to get the goals that we've identified at the top.
But I will kind of comment, and I think I'm speaking maybe for the people who were who've been on this team previously. These priorities were really well thought out, and really, I think a lot of people are attached to them and think they're really good. I'm not saying we have to keep them all, but I think they worked very hard on them. And I think that this is a good place to start for pulling.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think the priorities, the past priorities, we've evolved, and I think it's kind of the continued evolution of them. Can you do me a quick favor? Can you put our, just real quick, flip back to the goals that we say that we like? Because we have to take each goal. I want to just take a quick picture of it. The ones that, thank you. Okay, so the 4 goals. Thank you. Hold on, let me just take a quick picture so I can refer to it. Okay, great, thank you.
And Suzanne, I also sent you the worksheet because, I'm not sure if you're in a position to print where you are, but I did email you the worksheet. So if you wanted to.
Thank you. Oh, okay. And then, so we'll take the goal and then align it to these different, where does it fall? Correct? Is that what I'm understanding? So is it
Correct.
strengthening core instruction or every child, caring for every child or student? And it may cover in multiple areas, correct?
Yes, we're taking the priorities and doing that. And they're, especially now that we're thinking of rewording some things, I think there will be some overlap in where the priorities could fit.
Okay. Well, then do you think we should just take it goal by goal?
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing? Maybe I missed out.
So that first one, maintain a robust offering, can we all agree that it should be, that should be under we are strengthening our instructional core?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
And I'm wondering if we can combine that, sorry, I just interrupted you.
Good.
With that bottom one, by changing the wording to say something like continuing to foster and implement our robust offerings and systems or something, like put them together in that way, so we're more like out of this maintain and more like continuing to move along and foster.
So rephrase that first.
That could then combine with the last one of build systems and resources to support IB implementation. If you combine those two, more like a continuing to foster and implement our robust offerings of AP, IB. I think that could combine both of them.
Okay, so
in a
we
way.
could do a draft of that, yeah, and then approve it later. Unless you want me to type it up now.
I was only going to add, I know the first one spoke about COVID, but I don't think we can totally eliminate that one because the focus is really about increasing writing across the curriculum, literacy and numeracy, which is directly aligned to the first goal of content mastery on milestones, AP, IP exams. So I think you may get rid of the COVID introduction to it, but the district goal is still around literacy and numeracy.
Yeah.
Okay, so not necessarily stop that, but reword it to meet where we are. Got you. You are absolutely right.
So literacy and numeracy would also be under instructional core.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe that would be a good one to combine with another one. If anyone sees something that pops out.
Now, the only reason that I would want to keep that as a standalone is because it's so explicit in the district strategic plan in terms of the grade level, what they want it to look like. I think we should, just so that we keep our eye on that prize, it should be its own thing. That's the first goal that speaks to literacy and numeracy, but we would take out the COVID part.
So implement a long-term structural plan to address literacy and numeracy. I mean, that's why I was.
Well, the district goal at our level is really writing across the curriculum.
Yeah.
Literacy is on the third grade level. At the high school, they're looking for us to embed literacy in each content area. So they call it writing across the curriculum. And I don't know exactly how they're framing the numeracy at the secondary level.
It's not. It's that 8th grade goal for numeracy. But we could look at something like the application piece of math, right? So like when we think of where our students struggle the most, it is with, you gave me all these things, now how do I use it and what does it look like? So I kind of like the writing across the curriculum is kind of like math across the curriculum. So maybe finding a way to word it.
So the application of numeracy to solve real world problems?
Something like that. Yeah.
And again, would that still be implementing a long-term structural plan? Or are we still trying to continue building this?
Or maybe continue the implementation.
Continue implementation, yes.
Well, just maintaining a focus on these things, you know?
Yes.
Maintaining from, okay.
Yeah. Application of numeracy to solve problems in writing across the curriculum.
We want our students to be,
able to communicate in written form and use math to solve problems.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, so we now have the first two.
So how did we combine the second one? So we have the first one with writing across our curriculum and numeracy. And then the second one, we were looking to combine.
Yeah, it was maintain a
robust
robust offering of AP, IB, dual enrollment, fine and performing arts, and are we adding ACCA to that?
Yes,
that's the
and
one
JROTC
we wanted
too, I
to
think.
add.
And JROTC?
Yes, and ACCA, yeah, you already said that. And dual enrollment is already in there. And AP's in there, yeah.
Okay, so maintain a robust offering of AP, IB, dual enrollment, fine and
It is a
performing
robust
arts, CTAE, ACCA, JRTC courses that are reflective of all subgroups of our school population.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Maintaining a robust offering of the JROTC courses. I think the JROTC courses may just be the JROTC courses.
That's what I was thinking.
Does that make sense? Like there is nothing else to offer but level 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
So we may not need to. Whereas in art, there is IB art, AP art,
Sculpture.
sculpture, and I'm sure there are things that are out there. So we may not need to add the ROTC.
Because we can't offer a robust.
Yeah,
it's
Or
not-
robust.
it's all-
So we can
Yeah.
offer JROTC, it's not necessarily robust.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and we're gonna still keep the ending reflective of all subgroups of our school population.
Reflective of subgroups of equitably reflect subgroups or students in all subgroups.
Okay. All subgroups?
Would you
Okay,
think?
yeah,
Would you agree to follow along with the wording of the goals?
that sounds great. Okay. So we keep, I'm sorry, but go ahead.
No, you finish, Ms. Galloway, I'm sorry.
But we're also gonna combine that, so let me finish it by combining that with the build systems at the bottom. So maintain and build systems and resources to support the implementation, to support a robust offering of AP, IB, dual enrollment, fine and performing arts, ACCA, and CTAE courses that is reflective of all subgroups of our school population. Are we okay with that combination? Do you want me to read that again?
Please.
Still to,
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Some things.
I'm thinking we want to maintain systems because we have some in place and allocate appropriate resources to promote those course offerings, because I think especially in the pathways and in performing arts, students don't always know about the opportunities they have for ACCA or dual enrollment or whatever. I think it's really more of a counseling piece, or more of a promoting these opportunities and how you can take advantage of them. I think that's where we are now. Just my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
I absolutely agree with that. And then the deliverables on that are the creative ways that the promoting is being done, and then the growth in those areas. Because you're right, we have the stuff. We just have to make sure children are engaging and families are engaging in all of these incredible opportunities in a really intentional and robust way.
I also think the word maintain better, like maintain just kind of sounds like
Yeah.
static, like what's
so-
a better word that, again, like because things are still growing and changing and
Yeah.
moving, and so maintain just seems like it's kind of like, here we are.
Blah.
So what's another word that can have more, enhance or foster or something, things like that, they're gonna.
Something
have
that
more-
shows we're keeping it moving.
Yes,
Uphold?
exactly, maintain just seems.
Continue to
Uphold.
expand or uphold. And actually, I'm revisiting that first one now too, because that was a maintain.
Yeah, so I think anything that says maintain just seems real.
Yeah.
Uphold and grow, anything that's actionable,
Said something else.
like we're taking the next step.
Or implement,
Yes, I
think those kinds of like.
Or
yeah.
expand or
I think just something that keeps it, it doesn't even mean that it's like getting better, but it's you know, like just moving and it has this ability to ebb and flow and whatever that word might
Continue
be.
to support or continue to, I'm looking at that first one again, sorry, I'm kind of going back. But continue to support the implementation of a long-term structural plan with a specific focus on literacy and numeracy.
How about prioritize?
Prioritize, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
The implementation, okay, continue to prioritize the implementation of a long-term structural, plan with a,
And we still have the opportunity to go back and reword.
Yes.
Yeah, this is
Yes.
first round.
This is just our kind of like
Round
a
one.
draft.
okay.
And my
And
other,
can I just ask a quick question? You all are looking at our previous priorities, correct?
Yes.
yes.
Okay. And then the goals, the 4 goals that I took a picture of for the strategic plan, those priorities will run up under these goals. Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
Okay. So what is the goal for what we're talking about? Goal number 1?
So right now we are aligning the old priorities with the 6 new district focus areas. I'm sorry.
So it'd be goal one.
Okay. So
Yes, goal 1, sorry.
okay, so it is goal 1 that we came up with the last time.
Yes, that we came up with
Okay,
last.
that's what I want to make sure that I'm getting the connection. So we're kind of taking the priorities, the stuff that we like, and then aligning them to one of our new 4 goals, and then the priorities are the 6 things that the district wants us to do. Am I following that correctly?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Can I ask one more question? I know we're looking at the priorities right now, but then when you look at the strategies, doesn't that talk directly back into how these priorities? So the strategies, that's what was implemented, hopefully, right?
The action steps.
For each of these priorities.
Mhm.
So if we look at the strategies, doesn't that speak to then if these priorities are still valid right now or not, or relevant, because did this really happen in this strategy in order to say that's still a big priority? You know what I'm saying? Am I making any sense?
Well, I think a lot of them are like she said earlier, kind of a long-term roadmap. So I don't think,
So these are all, the strategies are still works in progress, they're still happening.
Yeah.
And it's
Yes,
nothing that
still
we like,
ongoing.
okay, that didn't happen, we didn't even start that strategy.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
we can,
Okay.
yeah.
That's what I was
Setting ourselves up.
But if they are, we're gonna begin it with something like continue to prioritize. I think that's kind of
And thinking about the strategies, Claire, because I hear exactly what you're saying,
Right.
tying it to what the outcome is.
Yes.
So for example, we have hit from the last strategic plan, a year to go, we have already hit our graduation rate. So that strategy is working, right? And so tweaking that might make sense to maintain and grow the graduation rate that we've already successfully hit in our last strategic plan.
And my only clarifying question is, do the new buckets, 6 buckets, have to be different objectives, or I know we found places where some of them can exist in multiple buckets, but is it okay if we are listing the same objective twice in different places? Or does that all be different?
I do believe the expectation is that we have at least 1 or 2 in each bucket.
Different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1 or 2, because I noted here in that picture there's 2, so I kind of thought we had to come up with 2 for.
It says you should have 1 to 2 objectives for
Okay.
each.
So where does the APIB Pathway 1 live? I mean, because I can see it in 3 places: instructional core, or sparking curiosity, you're talking about the pathways and skill development. I can even see it in Caring for Every Child if it's about reasons for students to come to school.
So I think goal 4 is more about like about the enrollment aspect as opposed to the instructional focus. Does that kind of help clarify what bucket we should put it in?
Well, this one's talking about maintaining a robust offering, having
The one we're working
those
on now?
programs.
I mean, I think it goes into instructional core, but I don't know.
I would agree, but I actually really like the idea of under sparking student curiosity because in the end, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to find, help you find your passion so that when you leave Maynard Jackson, you've got, a few steps into it.
And all of these offerings are what's going to do that.
Right. And so I think that's actually a really nice way of looking at these offerings of sparking curiosity. What are your thoughts?
I kind of feel like it goes in we're caring for every child because we're making the school is making sure that every child has a place and has an opportunity to figure out what they want to be and what they could possibly see themselves doing in the future.
That's very true. I'm so glad you're here.
Listen, told us.
Yeah, right? So we need to move it.
So I'll put a little asterisk right now and we can kind of revisit that one since it looks like there are 3 possibilities. And we'll see kind of where we stand as we go because I think we might have to rearrange anyway at the end.
Yes,
That's what I'm
agreed.
saying.
Yep.
So right now, all we have is the literacy and numeracy one under instructional.
Core.
Right.
And we've written one, we just don't know where it goes.
Right.
And
And we have one now under Caring for Every Child, right?
Well, we could be there. It could be in sparking curiosity. But I think in the mind of efficiency, let's move on to the creative educational professional development and seeing where this aligns, or if we want to reword this one, the 3rd objective.
I'll put asterisk by the ones where we want to come back and
I
review
thought
where
it
it
was
is.
strengthen our team.
I think so.
Yeah,
too.
that's why I would say strengthen our team.
For creating an educational and professional environment, promoting high-quality teaching, which provides well-defined and deliberately designed instruction that is inquiry-based, creative, interdisciplinary, technology-rich, and student-centered.
Okay, that whole one?
That's strength of our team. Okay.
Sounds good.
Thank you for reading.
Yeah, I mean,
90%.
I think I got a headache from it, but I got it done. No, it's so funny.
It's the bad copy. I'm so sorry, guys.
It's probably a
That's my fault.
screenshot.
I didn't
This
look
is a
at it.
screenshot, right? Yeah, that you dropped on it. It's okay.
That's shared.
I already know before.
You printed it out. I don't even look up there. All right, so we've got that one under strength as our team. The next one is going to be for building a culture of student support, cultivate a counseling and support system which focuses on college and career and empowers students to maximize their opportunities for learning future college studies and or post-secondary options.
I think we add into that something, not just future college studies and or post-secondary options, but maybe even that like more career oriented, since that's kind of the focus of wanting to expand that career piece.
Yes,
Maybe.
I agree.
Career piece, what did we add for that for the career piece? I'm sorry, I was typing.
Just something with the future college studies and or post-secondary options, like something more career oriented, some verbiage that addresses the,
College and career ready type thing.
yeah.
Opportunity to learning for learning future college studies and or
It's post-secondary options and career readiness.
I mean, I feel like even post-secondary options, that's career, that's college, right? We just
that's
take that
everything.
out.
That's
Yeah,
that
that's
includes
true.
JROTC, career, everything.
So just, maybe just strike the post-secondary, or that's it. Maybe
That
that's
is
the-
everything.
Yeah, that is everything.
Post-secondary
Yeah.
umbrella.
Yeah, unless we want to define what those things are.
I don't know where that falls though.
The
For number 4,
student support.
Either
Counseling and
responsibility
support?
or curiosity.
I
Caring
thought
for
it
every
was
child.
Caring for every
I was gonna say caring
child.
for every child
because
too,
of the-
that's where I thought it would go.
For the counseling and support system?
Yeah.
Which focuses on college and career.
Okay.
So
The one under it seems to be we're caring for every child, that school
And I
culture
agree
and
that
climate.
goes where
Right.
too.
Yes,
That-
I was gonna suggest maybe our school is efficient and effective because we're creating a school. You have a system that works and you can use it past high school because it's gonna help you get to your goals, so efficient.
That's a very good again. Yeah. So if we're creating these pathways, that yeah, it is efficient and effective, and that we're creating career readiness for our kids.
Okay, I'm gonna put, that's another asterisk one, it's efficient and effective. I'm gonna put that by it so that at the end we'll double check, we'll see where they all fall, if we need to rearrange. Like,
The healthy school culture and climate for students, we agree that that would go under caring for every student. Yeah.
healthy, okay.
And are all those programs still
Yeah.
what you think should be under there? I can't really, I see SEL.
SEL, PBIS, CAS, SL, student organizations, and No Place for Hate. Do we still have all of those?
Yes, we do.
Can I make a suggestion on that one? I'm sorry.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
I'm looking at all of these and none of them really speak to increasing the involvement of families or increasing the engagement of families to feel empowered within the school. Like our
Stakeholders,
PTSA struggles,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like one of our priorities should be figuring out how to really engage more families somehow, or those that are not as represented in the numbers that we would like to. And so I'm thinking that when we're talking about could also just include a little blurb somewhere about where it says like, since it already talks about staff and parents, but it could add some about empowers families to be more engaged.
Be a part of our community.
Yeah. So therefore, it would then be easy to put that under a shared responsibility.
Yeah.
Go.
So you're suggesting creating a new objective that includes bringing the family in.
Or
Or just
rewording
add-
that one just slightly,
Okay.
just to talk, to not only talk, but since it says a healthy culture and climate for students, staff, and parents, or it could be in families in
Yeah.
the school and community
Parents,
that
yeah.
amplifies and empowers or amplifies and increases engagement.
I think we need to add another one. Like,
Maybe add another one.
I
Under
think
our
we should have.
responsibility is shared.
Yeah, and under our responsibility shared,
Yeah,
because,
creating a whole
yeah.
new
I think so too.
that would really focus on that.
Because the parents don't really have a lot to do with the PBIS and SEL. But I think you're entirely right. I mean, we are missing the parent voice in this.
Maybe increase stakeholder voice, increased stakeholder.
Can we call them families though? Like as a mom, I don't feel called to the table when you call me a stakeholder.
I don't know.
Right?
if
Like, is that me?
Yeah.
Is that me? You know? Revenue's not
I
good
know
for me.
it's
I'm
such
a
a strange
stakeholder.
word, but it's actually all of us in
Yeah, right. It's also,
I
yeah,
got
like
you.
I like families and guardians.
Yeah.
I like saying families and not parents too.
I'm like
Yes.
an IB vocabulary.
Right.
So increase parent and caregiver voice within the school? Is that too broad?
We would have to kind of make it a
Workshop
bit
that.
more,
Yeah.
but essentially, yes.
Yeah.
I like the access to the school.
Yes.
We'll figure out how to.
Yeah, so something with like more involvement, direct involvement.
Programs,
Engagement of
involvement.
people.
Well, we might need to build.
Engagement.
This might be building a long-term structural plan to increase involvement for parents because,
Partnership, is that a?
or yeah, increase our
Partnership.
partnership. Because you're right, our PTA is
Yeah.
is
I mean, last night
struggle.
PTA did that, great.
That
No,
talk-
I ran away from the Go team that, I mean, the meeting that you left and I came into that meeting, but they did the whole thing. They had a woman come in last night
Oh,
to talk
vaping.
about drugs and,
Mhm.
and I had to leave early too, but it's not like she was, you know, giving a lot of information.
She was.
There was
It was
no one
excellent.
there. There was no one on the call. There was no one in the room.
It was excellent. Oh,
So
I hate that.
that's the biggest problem, I think. So it's how do we maybe work with the PTSA or something? You know, like how do we work with other groups within the school that
Yeah.
focus on family engagement
Family
or something? You know, I don't know.
I just wanted to make sure that we put families in there, because I don't want it to be just subjected to parents only. I want to make sure that people who maybe don't have their parents or are just going through stuff feel like they're whole, like the people who take care of them feel like
Family.
they're speaking to them.
Yeah, family and caregivers.
Family, parent, and caregiver, or family and caregiver?
Family and caregivers.
Family and caregiver.
And on that note, I know we just jumped around a lot, but the responsibility is shared. Maybe actually having something there about our community partners and how do we leverage those partnerships and have them more involved in the school and with the students too, and the families, right? So how does all that come together to be more
Yeah,
successful?
I mean, should that be its own thing? I think that's very important too.
Yeah.
Or should we lump it with family engagement? Or
No, I think
Separate.
community partners.
our responsibility is shared as well? So leave that under community engagement. I'll say community engagement. We'll revisit how we want to word that. Okay.
Community partner.
I might send out an email if anyone wants to help workshop some of these.
Yeah, that's fine.
You
You can
We
do
could
that.
do a separate Zoom, because that was something we talked about doing for the goals, so that might be a good idea to do kind of like a off calendar work session, virtual, of course.
Okay. Okay, so we at least have 2 already now under our responsibility share.
You sure do.
So let's keep, and so let's go back to,
The create an educational and professional environment,
yeah,
I think that goes under our strength as our team.
recruit and retain highly effective, yeah, I think so too.
See if we did that one or efficient. But that started with the strength of our team.
Okay, I'll put it there, but I'll do a little asterisk in case we want to move it. Okay. And how about build systems? We've already combined with that other one. How about the next build system?
I feel like we've kind of done some of this, it's at least part of in some way we've done build systems and resources to support college and career. One thing I like about this is the words excitement and exposure. That I don't know that we have used those words anywhere else, but we might want to rework this to spark that student curiosity, because high school is hard, and we want them to also enjoy it. And then what's next? I'm doing all this work to keep my grades up, to then
Where does it lead to?
where is this going to lead to? What am I gonna be when I grow up? So
I must feel like that one, that it does go right back to the cultivating and counseling and support system one, right? That we just, it's kind of the same, but then how do we work that with those kinds of words?
But I think it is that spark that, that.
Spark the curiosity.
Well, it's about, it says excitement and exposure, career excitement.
What about visioning and once again, thinking about how the student can take action, they've got to, it's great when you can have action words. So I think curiosity, when you're curious, you're doing something, right? And when you're excited, you're doing something. But is there a way to add, curiosity and visioning, or excitement and visioning, or something like that that's moving them in a direction?
Well, I wonder too with excitement and exposure, Are our students, could we presume or assume that all students have an opportunity to go to field trips
That's my,
to see ACCA or, Georgia State, or I don't know. I know that if you're in a club, you can go to competitions and so on, but I don't know if all students have the opportunity to go to different,
See different.
but
Experience different.
Well, some things come to them, but
Yeah, like
usually a lot of that
Yeah.
stuff is if you're if you're paying attention, that's really because all of it is always promoted. It's how locked in are the students and how locked in are the parents. Some parents don't want any reminds. And a lot of that stuff comes out through remind. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
So
yeah.
I know last year there were, the last couple of years, there's a million things to do, a million college trips.
Yeah.
They can sign up to go visit ACCA. There's a period where we take kids over. So all of that is happening. I think the disconnect is it getting to the kids that actually need it?
Right.
so maybe
Yeah.
it's so different, we word it in a way that's
And maybe
like,
that's different, right? Yeah.
right, like getting the, not exposure, but like, how is this information being disseminated or something like that, so these kids can have these opportunities.
Or connecting it to.
Yeah.
Like, right, you're trying to connect, you're trying to plug in to a family or plug into a parent or plug into a child. So
maybe instead of just build systems and resources to support, we would say build systems and resources to support and
Generate excitement or
no, to support and connect. We're trying to connect.
but the end of that is to support where is the way it's read right now, to support college and career excitement and exposure.
So we could say support and connect to help to continue to create excitement and whatever.
Okay, let me write that down.
yeah, just bang it out. We'll
Bang it out.
we'll fix it in.
And then chat GPT it.
Okay, we also talked about envisioning, but what was the last
Maybe
thing?
not visioning, maybe connecting. Maybe connecting.
Or connecting, and you said creating too?
Yeah, I think like
I really
use
like
the same words and just add like Suzanne was saying, how are we connecting this to our students and families? So just keeping it the same, adding that connecting to continue to create that excitement and exposure or something like that.
Yeah, that's the next step, right?
Exposure
That's the next step.
that I want to keep.
Yes.
More participation,
Yes.
because we have it in place.
So like
How we continue
expanding
to make
that.
sure that they all know about it. Right? Expand. That's expand. Okay.
And then that's a very tangible, measurable objective, priority.
Yeah.
Can I offer one? Can we have one for efficient and effective here?
I put I think to cultivate the counseling and support. We had put kind of like a tentative just based on Anaya's
Can I
feedback.
ask something?
Please.
I noted, it may not be good, leverage data to appropriate resources for sustainable implementation of signature programs and initiatives. I think that one's kind of speaking to that we use our money or our resources wisely and effectively. So that means we really need to consider, where does the data say we should put money?
That's true.
And where does the data say we need to put additional resources, be they human resources, space, staff?
Got it. So always human. Where was that?
Yeah, where is that
I
one?
would put that under our school is efficient and effective.
No, but where is it on this?
Oh, I just wrote it.
Oh, you just read it! I was looking for it!
Oh, I thought it was one of the schools. Yeah, I thought you were.
Okay, so say that again.
Right. You writing all
Yes.
these.
Because I was like too busy looking for it. I was like, where'd it go?
I think
Leverage
that speaks to
data
those things.
to appropriate resources for sustainable implementation of signature programs and initiatives.
Where's the statement role?
Implementation, that may not be the right word, of signature programs and initiatives.
I like that.
Yeah, me too. Because it speaks to both effective and efficient.
Signature programs kind of that implies kind of just IB, so maybe.
Well, yeah, signature program, we only have one, and that's IB, right?
That's-
It doesn't include anything else.
I don't know what
Yeah.
else, whatever else we might.
So anything else could fall under the initiative umbrella.
Yeah.
Got it.
Emily, would you mind maybe going back and we go through each one of these again to see what we decided firmly was going to be
Okay.
each one?
Okay. So our strength is our team, and mine are a little bit different. Okay, so let me start with the instructional core. Sorry. Strengthening our instructional core, we said that the first one, the implementing a long-term structural plan, I think we continue to prioritize the implementation of long-term structural plan with a specific focus on literacy and numeracy. So that was the first priority, which is now our first objective under we are strengthening our instructional core. So that's definite. Okay, and then I'm going to skip because the next one I have asterisk by it because it could fit by more than one. So I'm going to skip that one. So the third one listed on priorities is going to be under our strength is our team. And that, do I need to read it out loud, or you guys know what I'm talking about when I say the third one? Creating an educational and professional. Okay, that one goes under our strength is our team right now. Also under our strength is our team is number 6, create an educational and professional environment that will recruit and retain highly effective teachers, yada, yada, yada. And then we have, under we are caring for every child, we have number 5 of the old strategic priorities, build a healthy school culture and climate for students, staff, and parents in the school and community, yada, 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 okay? And then, so those were, number 5, that's the only one under we are caring for every child. And then we have nothing definite under we are sparking student curiosity. We are flirting with number 7 for that. Our responsibility is shared. So far we have family engagement. We're going to do some sort of statement about increasing family and caregiver engagement and voice within the school in terms of programs, involvement, partnerships, etc. But we have to phrase that. And then we're also going to do a separate one under our responsibility is shared about community partnership and engagement. And then under our school is efficient and effective. We have placed another new one. So those last 2 were new ones, and there's another new one. Leverage data to appropriate resources for sustainable implementation of signature programs and initiatives. You are welcome.
And then our floating one is that one that we comboed.
We have a few floating ones. So the floating one is, we combined the second one with the kind of 7th, the big first half of that 7th one at the bottom. So the building resources with the implementation of continue to build systems and resources to maintain a robust offering of AP, IB, dual enrollment, fine performing arts, ACCA, and CTE courses that is reflective of all subgroups of our school population. So we have not placed that one yet. And we have also not officially placed number 4, cultivate a counseling and support systems
which needs to be rephrased anyway. Which focus system, cultivate a counseling and support system which focuses on college and career and empower students to maximize their opportunities for learning, future college studies, and or post-secondary options. Number 4, we have it right now under, you're either going to put it under we are caring for every child or efficient and effective. And what do we have under, we have one thing already under efficient and effective, and we have one thing already under we are caring for every child. And then there was talk of also under we are sparking student curiosity. We talked about putting number 7 under there, but that was also asterisk. So number 7, that would be, we're going to rephrase number 7, build systems and resources to support college and career excitement and exposure. We're going to rephrase that to include envisioning or connecting and or creating, or to continue to create and connect more participation, expand. But that's the only one we have under we are sparking student curiosity, so perhaps we should leave it under there. Everyone else has at least one.
I would like to put uphold the robust offering of AP, IB, et cetera, under the sparking curiosity.
I agree.
Okay.
So that was the combo of 2 and 7, right?
Yes.
2 and 7, okay. And are we getting?
I also like the idea of cultivate a counseling support in college and career readiness under school is efficient and effective.
I agree.
Okay, so let me double check that I have this right before I mess it up. So number 2, the one that we've kind of rephrased about maintaining robust offering of AP. So we're going to say something along the lines of continue building systems and resources to maintain a robust offering of AP IB. That will now go under
Sparking curiosity.
Sparking curiosity, okay.
Or uphold. I like the uphold the robust offering of AP, et cetera.
Uphold our robust offering.
Which we could then say to link them to, exposure and excitement, but I don't know if that would.
Which I also like the exposure and excitement, that can go under a sparking curiosity.
I feel like also the downside of that is, they might choose a pathway their freshman year and then they're like, oh my God, I hate graphics. You know what I mean? And then, and they're in the pathway, but it doesn't mean that we can't continue to expose them and then they go to somewhere else or they go to, and then they're like, oh my God, I want to work in robotics.
I like uphold. Is it uphold and connect?
So right now I have it as continue building systems and resources to uphold our robust offering of AP, IB, dual enrollment, fine and performing arts, ACCA, and CTAE courses that is reflective of all subgroups of our school population.
Can we just add to uphold and connect our scholars to? Because it's not just, we'll always uphold it. That's what the adults are doing. But connecting the scholars to it is the action plan. That's how we get movement.
All right. Does that sound good? Does anyone want me to read that again? Okay. All right. Hold on to your hats. Continue building systems and resources to uphold and connect our scholars to our robust offering, or I should say maybe offerings?
Yes, offerings. Yes.
Continue building systems and resources to uphold and connect our scholars to our robust offerings of AP, IB, dual enrollment, fine and performing arts, ACCA, and CTAE courses that is reflective of all subgroups of our school population.
Yes.
I want to go to that school.
You can only choose one pathway.
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, yes, that's true. Okay. All right, and then do we want to talk about doing the cultivate accounts? No, wait. cultivate a counseling and support under the school is efficient and effective? Or do we want to keep that in, we are caring for every child?
So
This would be cultivate, this would be, what was the fourth one? Yeah, cultivate a counseling and support system that focuses on college and career and empowers students to maximize their opportunities for future college studies and career readiness.
I agree. Efficient and effective.
number 4 for efficient and effective, or we are caring for every child. We're thinking efficient and effective.
I think caring for every child, sorry, was something.
It's just that I'm trying to get to the goal of having at least 2 under.
I don't think we're gonna do that, because right now we just have 1 under
Yeah.
instructional core. We have 2 under our strength as our team. We have 1 to 2, based on what we're discussing right now, under we are caring for every child. We have 1 to 2 under we are sparking student curiosity, and we have 2 under our responsibility shared, and 1 under our school is efficient and effective.
Remember, you only have to have 1
Right.
or 2.
Yeah, 1 or 2.
Right.
And we can always sit with these,
Yes,
right?
so
And,
let's
like,
sit with
think
these.
about them,
I think
yeah.
so too. I think we
We're
sit
always
with
like,
these for a
we're
little
always trying
bit,
to hear words.
review them.
Yeah, we're doing a lot tonight. I'm impressed with us, but we're doing a lot.
Because what do you think, Dr. Lawson? Do you feel like there should be another one under strength in our instructional core? Do you feel like that's like one of the buckets that they should want like 2 in?
I feel like it is just
Yeah.
because it's the thing that
Right.
impacts
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's education.
So what is that?
So
I think probably based upon like our observations we did, we probably would write something related to student engagement.
Yes.
High expectations.
High expectations.
Absolutely.
We could write something.
student ownership,
Student ownership.
like academic
Yeah.
ownership. Yeah.
So that probably would be an appropriate goal for what we have observed, what we are with what are we doing?
Cognia.
The Cognia reaccreditation, so.
So student ownership, student engagement, high expectations. Was there one other one that I missed one?
Those were the ones that we were having the lowest
Rating.
rate observing. So if we
So
want
building
some-
a goal around
Those things.
Yes.
as an instructional.
I think that would be the great, like the
So we could probably
cherry on
draft
the pie.
something for when we have
Is there a
the
cherry on
Zoom meeting around.
Okay, so we'll play with the wording of that as well.
Yes.
When I email this out to everybody. But it's something about instruction, creating student ownership, student engagement, high expectations.
Yeah.
So if our
instruction.
plan today is develop these strategic plan objectives, in our next meeting, are we then going to approve them?
Yes, it says at our next meeting, we'll vote on our finalized strategic plan.
Okay.
We'll rank our strategic objectives and we'll begin a discussion of the budget for the upcoming year, 26-27.
And we're gonna need to make room for that. So we should maybe meet for a Zoom call. We're not.
We could also start by maybe Dr. Latchman and I will draft at least these in sentences, some of the things that we just kind of threw out, and then share a Google Doc for everyone to kind of make comments on.
I think that's great.
And then maybe see at that point if, or what the Zoom should look like or when it should happen.
Right.
Is that okay?
I was just gonna say that in my notes, it has either the 21st or the 28th of January for a date. So if we could
Finalize it today. Okay.
I mean, finalize it before June.
Sure, I didn't realize that we had 2 days or,
I don't remember
why it was.
I think we did our next one, because last year we didn't have the budget numbers, right? So we had to so I think we put our 2 budget meetings closer together.
Yeah, because we didn't, they didn't send out hadn't sent out.
Right, and so we wanted to have a lot of information.
Yeah, I have the 21st in my calendar.
Okay.
Of January?
Yes.
Okay. And is there only one meeting in January?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, gosh, I don't have it in my.
Do you think we should do, or do you think there is a need? I like the idea of sending out the Google Doc, but do you think there is a need for a work session on this, or no? Just do it through the Google Doc?
I think we could start with the Google Doc and then see what kind of work session we need and who can do it when.
When will we make that decision? Because when we come back in January, HR is going to come and then we need to vote, and we're not meeting in December.
So we'll Dr. Latchman and I will meet tomorrow to do the
Probably
drafts.
Friday.
And we'll do a draft of each sentence we've kind of cobbled together.
That's perfect.
And then I'll share that draft on Friday with everybody here. And then we will revisit like maybe a week from that Friday, so everyone has a chance to go in and make comments and.
Well, so today's a Wednesday, so maybe the Wednesday after Thanksgiving break.
Okay, yeah, that's what I meant.
Right,
the Friday.
yes.
I was saying the Friday after. I meant the Friday after Thanksgiving break, but maybe the Wednesday might be easier.
Sure, whatever. But
Would I
let's
be able to do the Friday after Thanksgiving break?
Oh, this would just be everyone has their comments in.
Oh,
Friday
okay.
after.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I think the Friday after Thanksgiving break, yeah.
Okay, Friday. So maybe that way we have a full, because no one's doing anything.
Or maybe Thursday and then Friday, if there's not enough there, then we can make a decision that, hey, let's try to jump on a quick call or something.
Okay. So we'll aim for Thursday. And I'll send that when I send out the email of the link. I'll tell everyone the goal is for everyone to enter comments and revisions in the comments section of the Google Doc. By Thursday.
Pardon me?
Strategy, something we do in
That was
house.
my
I don't see strategies on the template anymore. I do have to ask about that. I'm sorry.
But that's a really good question. Are there any strategies that
Could turn into priorities
that we might move over to our priorities?
Right.
All right, so are we ready to move over to our information items then?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We will now hear about any additional information items. We've got our principal report, Dr. Latchman.
All right. So, very quickly tonight, because this is all data that we've unpacked in pieces, but it's just important to note that the CCRPI is now live as of November the 12th on the Godot website. I placed a link in here that should go directly to our schools page. One of the things that was very different this year is that there is no longer an overall score from the state, but they just kind of look at each component and grade each component. So tonight we're going to review the components and see how we did compared to last year on the CCRPI, but we no longer have an overall score. So this is just an overview of our school profile. The state is always going to be off from where we were. This was not our actual enrollment last year. I think we ended at 1560 something last year, if I'm not mistaken. So it was not that number. And then they just give us a breakdown of our school. But first, really important component is that of content mastery, and that speaks to how our students performed on the Georgia milestones. We did have a 4.2 point increase on content mastery from the previous year. And on it also compares how we did to the district and the state. That's, kind of how they measure. So you could see that we surpassed the district in this area. And we actually were right on par with the state in this area. So we had increases in all content areas with the exception of American Lit, but I want to say we unpacked that data in our first meeting when we looked at our subgroups and stuff. In the area of progress, unfortunately, we experienced a 13.2% decline, but we were still able to beat the district score and stay on par with the state score. We actually picked up 100 progress points in math, but where we fell short, and we increased in our, I don't know why this is hiding my progress towards English language proficiency. We increased by 3.97 points in that area, but we did have a decrease in, not a decrease, but it was the first year that progress in English language arts was counted since COVID. And we didn't do that great in that area. So that's what brought the overall score down to an 82.
So that was those 13 points basically, was just from that.
From how we performed in the English, because we did good in other areas.
So our progress now in English compared to say 2019 dropped 13 points.
It's not, it wouldn't be an apples to apples.
I mean,
So
yeah, different kids.
no, not only that. So usually how they count progress is they take the same group of students from year to year. So it's kind of easier to do with math because you're coming from your 8th grade year to your 9th grade year. But I actually think what they had to do with the English language arts students, I think it was you took your milestones EOG 8th grade, and then this test was taken in the 11th grade. So that was a kind of a really huge jump to measure. And I think this year when our 10th graders take it, it should be a little bit more aligned. That to me is kind of like a muddy point. That kind of, to me, it came out of nowhere. Okay, we're measuring English progress again. My battery's running low. And here's your progress. You didn't do well. That's just my opinion on that part. In the area of closing the gaps, we got 100 points, which surpassed both the district and the state. And closing the gap speaks to how our students achieved based on the state target. So each year the state sets a number that we have to hit for every content area, for every subgroup that we have in our school. So when you get a green flag, it means that you have met that target. We have 2 areas which are our economically disadvantaged and our students with disabilities, where if you meet your target and then some, you will get a green flag plus a yellow star, which means you do get some extra credit points there as well. And then we fell short in American literature in the all students, Black students, and Hispanic student subgroups. But because we got those yellow stars, that's why we were still able to get the 100 points. And then finally, our readiness. So the readiness indicator speaks to a lot of what we are kind of talking about on our strategic plan and getting our kids ready for college and career, finishing pathways, making sure that we have a good percentage of students who are taking advantage of accelerated enrollment options like AP, IB, ACCA, dual enrollment. You can see that we were up in all areas. There was nowhere to go with the accelerated enrollment because we were at 100%. So that gave us an overall score of 70.9, which was an additional 4 points up from where we were last year. And then finally, the grad rate is one of the data points that we unpacked maybe 2 meetings ago, but we had an increase of 0.4 points in that area. And that is it for data updates. And now we're going to turn it over for our cluster advisory team report.
You tell me if I missed anything.
I will.
They just talked last night a little bit about, so we had our second cluster advisory meeting last night. There was a little bit of talk in the beginning about the charter renewal process. I think they're going to come back to us with more information. I guess it's a lot less work than it used to be. But they are sending out, and they sent out, and are gonna have all of us that attended, fill out forms about what we see are as positives and negatives, about being in a charter system. So I don't know if we wanna send anything out, if we want everyone's input on that, or, okay. But I think that was like one of the docs that they sent out to get some input from us on. They also looked at how we all look at the Go teams and where most people find they get the most out of the Go team. And a lot of it was around structure and finance, really, the financials and the budget and everything. That was one of the big topics that most people seem to fall in line with. Talked about the district budget itself and its challenges. They're looking at for 2027, we're starting with $100 million, now they're looking at $55 million. So that's but also just talking about what is happening in the district with more competition coming from public schools, more charter schools, kids getting homeschooled, the state, what do they call the extra money that people can get to go to private schools, the vouchers.
Vouchers, yeah.
So things that are taking away from public school, the lower birth rates, people not living in the city with kids anymore, actually, housing expenses, and then just the increase in expenses for every school, spending so much more money on having teacher salaries being competitive, maintaining all these buildings, all of that stuff is just continuing to go up. There's a big thing on attendance. And how they are trying to, that's one of the big, obviously, district incentives, and how different schools are approaching attendance and who has had some successes. So talking about some of the schools that are offering monetary incentives for attendance.
Oh, wow.
And like, a lot of elementary school parties and things like that, just different incentives that they've been using. The CART teams that every school should have as attendance. So it's a big group of people that are really trying to help incentivize attendance for these kids. And then we broke out into our cluster groups, and that was our big discussion point last night was attendance. And one question that I had, we started discussing a little bit, and you had left, and Ms. Gibbs was also not there. So the elementary schools were talking about just how their strategies with attendance, and it's a lot of times the same children that are chronically absent, and a lot of it also is the kids that are transitional and how that affects our attendance scores. But is there, and I told them I would ask you, is there some sort of system that if it's a lot of the same children from elementary school that then go into middle school, that then go into high school, are these kids flagged so that, like, do you get something from King that already flags these kids that are chronically absent coming into high school?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So yes, every student in our school has a data profile that speaks to, and when you pull it up, you can see, and if you're ever interested, I could show it for your student, of course.
Right.
But it shows you where they are in terms of their behavior history, their attendance history, every grade they've ever made, every milestone they've ever taken from third grade, to now. But in terms of something formal to say, hey, I hate to use this word, but I'm going to use it for lack of better words. Here is a hot list of students you may need to look out for. The only students that we may do something similar to that for are our students who are coming to us from middle school that are returning from the alternative program. So we would have a list of those students where we do our transition meetings, kind of plan for some frequent check-ins to make sure things are going well with them. But in terms of students who are just attendance, there is not to my knowledge, something that is formalized, but it would be, that is something that I'm sure we could work together to get in place. That shouldn't be hard.
Right. How do we have that go through the whole right, up to high school.
Wouldn't that be the role of the school social worker? Right? I would think that now, I don't know if you're gonna have the same school social worker that supports King that then supports Jackson,
It's not, but
right?
some
But
kind of way.
But
That's,
there should be some
there
way.
is,
some
that is,
vertical
that, the
alignment.
figuring out who has attendance problems, that, you know, who might need more increased family support, that
Yeah.
usually falls under the purview of the school social worker.
So we started discussing that last night a little bit, but when I asked, and they were like, no, we don't think that does maybe travel from middle school and high
It
school.
doesn't, and it does.
And
But
is there
that's
a way
something
that we would maybe foster that, so that could be
Yeah.
something that would help attendance, right?
So that's something we could bring to our CART team as just a part of our ninth grade transition process. So like, okay, we have a CART here at Maynard Jackson, they have a CART at King. Could we possibly do some kind of a meeting of the minds to talk through, well, who are we really getting and who are we really needing to wrap our arms around early on? Because you figure it out by day 5,
Yeah,
10, but it would be nice to kind of preview and put some things maybe in place for
Yeah,
students.
we don't wanna wait for them to be out
Yeah.
There was even,
6 days in August.
Ms. Brown, the tumor
Oh,
principal, was saying that they oftentimes, because it is so many of the same children, the beginning of the school year, when parents have to come in for open house or something like that, that they will sometimes kind of pull those parents immediately and have like some frank discussions with them about past attendance and how that needs to improve this year kind of thing. So she said they try to like get them at the very beginning. I don't know if that's a strategy, but every school is trying to share strategies. Bama apparently is doing so well.
They are
so
Marquez,
well.
look at, like, right now he said like 97% this year.
Yeah, they are
So much
Really
better.
good stuff.
So, so yes, we talked about attendance, and then we briefly talked about budget, but only to the point to say that expect there to pass houses. And that's it.
all right.
I have a quick question about that. Was anything discussed about IB, you know, like the signature programs as it relates to the charter?
You know, there was, I feel like, a discussion on it. I came in like maybe like 5 minutes after it started, and I feel like they were already into that piece of it. When I get all of the notes from that meeting, I'll look back and share that. We haven't gotten the minutes yet, but there was some discussion about the charters and the
And just- Correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Felshman, because you know more than I do, but the charter system that we originally were a part of that expired, I guess, that was why we had to have our signature programs. Am I correct? Wasn't that time?
Yes. We are in a charter system. We renewed our charter 5 years ago as a charter system, and the first line in our charter with APS, well, with the state, is signature programming. Now, that might not exist in the new charter. That's what the strategic plan is for, and then they'll create the charter alignment. That might not be part of it, but my understanding is that Jackson, they aren't going to pull IB or anything like that.
Right.
That would not be part of it, but it might not be in the actual state charter.
So, would you just keep an ear out for that? For us?
I am.
There you are.
I am. Because it's an expensive program. So, for example, I believe they're pulling it out of Farrell. Either Farrell or one of the other clusters does not want it anymore. It might be Farrell. It might not. Maybe it's
Farrell's last. These graduates are the last ones.
Right. So I knew there was one cluster that it was coming out of. But like North Atlanta has had it for 30 years, right? So yeah, they're not going to touch us. But I'm focused.
And yes, if when I go back to the minute, I'll check. There was a brief discussion. Travis came in and talked about the new alignment of some of the assistant superintendents. Which
that was
he just kind of went through that quickly, and that was really it.
So now
yeah, it's almost like we're going back to the SRT, which doesn't it's an interesting choice is all I'm saying, because it doesn't promote vertical alignment within a cluster, because you have deputy superintendents at every level.
Right, so there's one for, there's like what, the couple
Yeah.
trees, then middle school, and then
Oh,
for high school, so that's how
The
they
middle
rearrange
schools and high schools are combined.
our software, yes.
I can see. Okay.
So we'll see.
All right. Is there anything else, Claire?
That was
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Do we have any announcements?
I have an announcement. Friday is our Thanksgiving baskets at Maynard Jackson High School, and I'm excited to be supporting Dr. Maynard in it again. And if anyone has boxes, we need 50 boxes. So if anybody has Amazon boxes sitting at home that are medium to large, please bring them into the office.
Okay.
We have lots of families to feed this year.
Okay. And then do we have any public comments?
I'll just introduce myself.
Yes.
I'm Gail Langley. I am a ninth grader and I'm new to APS as well. I just appreciate what you all are doing. Just interested.
Okay. Welcome, Gail. Thank you. All right. Well, I believe we have reached the end of our agenda. Is there any additional business at this time?
January 21st is the name, right?
Yeah. January 21st.
Looking forward to our team, the staff at Maynard Jackson, and the children to get a nice long holiday week.
Yes.
And some rest.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll
Yeah,
follow
they
up
were supposed
tomorrow.
to, yeah.
I'll follow up.
Yeah, maybe they could be part of the January 21st.
Wait.
Yeah.
What we supposed to see, like a finalized profile or?
The profile's been released.
Yeah, that's been sent out.
But I don't know.
That was just a bunch of comments.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought too. I was so confused. I was like, that's the longest
Exactly.
profile
I
I've
know.
ever seen.
Oh, those are all just the comments?
Yeah, I think it was just.
Yeah, it was
They put together all the.
I mean, I've read them. It felt that way, but.
Yeah, because that was.
I didn't
Very
read it,
long.
so.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
a lot.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna be showing us what is the actual job description, or position description.
Okay, so I guess we'll wait and hear for that.
Well, something happened, so I'm sure we'll follow.
All right, so we'll wait to hear if HR is going to come, but I do want to say that if HR is going to come in January, January meeting might be lengthy, right? Yeah.
Unless
Okay.
we want to do a separate meeting.
Unless we
for us,
want to
like,
do a
via
separate
Zoom
meeting.
Or something.
I wouldn't be opposed to that. So we can see how it goes.
Galloway can follow up.
Okay.
We'll follow up and see how it goes. All right, may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
A second?
Second.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Aye.
Any, all opposed? Any abstentions? Meeting is adjourned.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was hard work, you guys. Thank you so much.
You are trying to catch the last of this orchestra.
Everything.
We'll see. I might have to listen to this like a couple months.
I always keep my sloppy copy here.
Oh, I got railroaded, believe me.
Thank you guys. I'm gonna run to orchestra. I'm
Yeah.
terribly late.
That's why I was laughing so hard at that first meeting when Suzanne was it you or was it Suzanne was like, I would like to nominate.
Yeah, oh no, she went around and nominated everybody.
You were like,
Yeah.
"Oh."
Yeah,
I
it's
was
like,
like,
president.
Worst job ever.
Yeah.
Smiling, thank you.
When I first started getting involved with Maynard Jackson, I was the secretary for the athletic boosters. And immediately I was like,
Oh my.
y'all picked the wrong girl for this one. I'm sorry, keep it organized? I'm not the one.
That's not my.
That's
No,
not
I
my.
love your
And then shortly after that, I was elected to the.
I think my processing issues with
Thank
that
you.
for allowing me to be able to like where do y'all want the extra water?
All right, I'm starving you guys.
Just leave it
there.
there. Thank you so much. Right.
Bye, everyone, have a great Thanksgiving. I don't
Yeah.
see you to the next round.
I know.